Hey, thank you. So yes, a little background on me. I spent most of my career in the video game industry, including 20 years at Nintendo, where I ended up as the director of Nintendo of America. And while I was there, I worked on the development of games and game platforms, such as the Nintendo 64, all through the Wii and 3DS, along with online game services for all those platforms, and really many other things. I joined Epik in 2018 as a vice president of product, really with the mission to bring NFTs into games. So that's background on me. I think we've all taken, I'm not sure everybody's had a chance to introduce themselves since I was a little bit late, but if they haven't already, maybe we can go around and have everybody else introduce themselves. Maybe we'll start with Anita.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have to do the twice introduction about this, but it's okay, it's fine. I'm not shy about this. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I'm a representative business developer of Herofi, which is a ARPG game NFT project, and it will be released in September and October this year. And this game is a mobile game, and we have based on the gaming studio Brave Stars and DeFi. So this game is focusing on the game players, and for the DeFi investor as well. We want to create an environment for game players. They can still play the games and they can still have the income for playing games.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Anita. How about Hrish? Can you introduce yourself, please?
How's it going, everyone? My name is Hrish Lotlikar. I'm co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld. SuperWorld is a virtual world built on top of the real world that enables anyone and empowers them to create, discover, and monetize anything, anywhere. We've divided the surface of the earth into 64 billion virtual blocks of virtual real estate that enables anyone to also become a key stakeholder on the platform. We have a mobile application. We have an NFT marketplace. We're tokenizing in Q4 this year and moving into DeFi as well.
Excellent, thank you. How about Morten?
Yeah, hi guys, everybody. My name is Morten Rongaard. I am the co-founder and CEO of Reality Gaming Group. Reality Gaming Group, one of the pioneers along with Hrish and a lot of others in this space, but we started back in 2017 and created Reality Gaming Group, where our business is split into three products. We have our NFT blockchain service, where we help other companies go into this whole very interesting universe. Then we have our own studio actually developing games. And at the end, we also have our own chain focusing about the sustainability and creating NFTs with a very low carbon footprint. So that's very, very quickly what we do. But we work with titles like BBC and stuff like that. So yeah.
Great, very good. Okay, Raj, how about you?
Yeah, my name is Raj Kapoor is my name. I mean, that's fine. And a lot of people in India know me because in India, they call me grandfather of blockchain because I've been in the damn line for the last 11 years now. So it's a title which I'm not really very proud of. It's only because I got gray hair, so I accept it. But that's fine. I've been in this blockchain space now for 11 years. So my idea of setting up my organization was to bring blockchain to the last common denominator. Most people really have no clue what is blockchain, and it's always mixed up with crypto and all sorts of vague, notions. So when I started the organization about 3 years back, and I've been in the technology space since 30 odd years, but blockchain held my passion. I went in, like a lot of us, I went in for the speculation, but I've stayed back for the revolution being blockchain, the speculation for the crypto. So having said that, I do a lot of work with a lot of partners, such as maybe could be Morten, could be Hrish, could be Anita. I help them explore Indian markets, understand what we can do here. India is a great consumer market. It's a huge market. And I help them actually get India ready. Like make, India is the only country in the world where McDonald's makes a spicy burger with Indian spices. It's called the Aloo Tikki burger. That's exactly what we need. We need to customize. So I do a lot of work in that space. I work with the government. I work with the government of India specifically. We are part of the Prime Minister's office advisory team. I work also with a lot of corporates, advising them on whether they need blockchain or not, whether they need, whether fintech can help them, blockchain can help them, so on and so forth. And I work most importantly with education institutions, more than about 100 of them, where I actually teach blockchain through different courses which we put together through training, creating a complete ecosystem out there. So what we do is a complete 360 degrees ecosystem in blockchain, fintech, DeFi in India. Anybody needs any help here, always ready for helping out. We are a not-for-profit. The idea is to make blockchain mainstream. That's my aim, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and I think we're all in agreement with that. Mainstream blockchain is where it's at. I should mention that at Epik, we are a B2B company and pretty much work with all the companies involved in brands and gaming and crypto games and NFTs. So we really aren't all competitors here. We're really focused on growing this entire industry so everybody can win.
There's no competitors, only colleagues, right?
Yeah. So thanks a lot, everybody. So why don't we start off with the discussion about the current NFT marketplace? And I have a question for all of you. Have we reached mass market adoption of NFTs yet? And if not, why not? Maybe we can just start with you, Morten. You're on the screen right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a very interesting question. And how I've always seen how we will bring and spread out the whole blockchain and NFT is through gaming. I've always said that if you want to target the most of people, you need to do it by something that everybody's using. And they don't need to understand that it's using blockchain. I think eventually that will be part of the whole journey, but I think we need to see that this will come through gaming. And that's why, we are building with BBC a trading card game based on Doctor Who, which is the world's oldest sci-fi series, TV series from 1963. And just by having that kind of like IP in the back will definitely help us try to reach the whole mass market, I think so. And this is from my perspective, it's always been through gaming. And then eventually, I think alongside the way we will see other elements like we see metaverses right now is really also bringing it to life. And so that's how I see it. But I still think it has to have a gaming element in order to prove the utility behind it.
Great. Anita, what do you think? Have we reached mass market adoption of NFTs yet?
Yeah, for me, personally, I think that NFT is it's a train, as you can see now, but it contains a lot of potential. It definitely contains a lot of potentialities, but as well as combined with it is a lot of risks. Because as you can see now, the NFT is people are known about the NFT and they are going to buy, but the NFT is not having a really real use case in the real life. So that this is also a problem that we may discuss about this later, I think so. So as Morten has mentioned about it before, the way we can access to people easiest is access with the things that they used to, and we can start with the game. We can start with the gaming. That's why we do the Herofi game, and this game has some solutions for the way of sustainability in the NFT.
Very good. Raj?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Right. I still feel there's a long becoming mainstream, but I think gaming is definitely the way forward, that's for sure. In India, for example, in the last 6 months, I've seen more NFT companies getting set up than I've ever seen in my life. And I've been in the space for long enough to know what's happening. There's a reason for it. India is very rich in heritage, in digital, in art. And now with two very large companies entering the markets, and again, Morten, I agree with you there for the gaming perspective. I've been advising them to go the gaming way. Easiest adoption. Everybody loves games. It cuts across all age barriers. India is becoming, I think, one of the largest NFT market spaces in the next few years. And to get them to get it, I mean, there are going to be the crests and the troughs, that's for sure. We've seen huge numbers the last quarter and a real drop here. Well, that's in line with how the crypto is moving as well. But adoption of NFTs and acceptance of NFTs has become almost, I could say, mainstream now. Everybody I know talks of NFT. I was speaking to a university a few days back, and they said, "Sir, why don't you create NFT for our university? It's a 100-year-old university. You got a lot of stuff to do." All right, great, I'll do that for you. Yeah, but do you know what is NFT? And then ultimately, I actually I'm now an official board member of Board of Studies and creating a course on NFT for them now. That's a good thing, because we need to have the education bit covered as well. So coming back, and NFTs, of course, a lot of regulatory frameworks need to be built around that. That's one of the gray areas where we really need to address. If it has to become mainstream, my belief is regulations, IP protection, all that needs to be considered and acknowledged before we go further and make it really totally mainstream. But it's going there, that's for sure. It's the question of which boxes we still need to tick. And I still think we have got a few more boxes to tick, but gaming is the way for sure. Anita and Morten, I agree completely on that.
Great. Hrish, I'm imagining you have the same perspective.
I would say I do agree that we're very early in the NFT boom, which is going to be a long-term utility here. I think that technology brings a lot to the table. I do also agree that gaming is definitely one of the, I think, early ways of getting users on board. However, I would add that I think that in addition to gaming, at least what we're thinking about at SuperWorld is how do we bring utility to NFTs to people's real lives? So if I can give you an NFT that gives you access to an event, but also gives you some other, virtual benefit or real world benefit, if I could give you an NFT that gives you, some unique, privilege, or gives you a way to be able to buy something in the real world based on a virtual object that you're buying. I think those kinds of things are also ways of getting to the mainstream, because the mainstream isn't necessarily going to go virtual if they don't have to. I mean, we were forced to COVID to go more virtual. And I think people are getting used to it, but I think we need some other ways of getting to people that kind of, allow them to benefit in the real world.
All right, very good. I think with us at Epik, we agree we're not quite there. If we're imagining mass market, it's really tens of millions of consumers participating. I don't think we're close to that just yet. But definitely the awareness, I agree, has just been growing exponentially. I mean, certainly within the last 9 months or so, this has really grown significantly. And for us, we're really seeing more doors opening for adoption from the business side. And for us, as we roll out our solutions with our AAA game partners, with millions of daily active users, it's going to drive consumer acceptance pretty significantly as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about another. Yeah, go ahead.
A quick comment just on that one. I totally agree with Hrish, because one of the things we can see right now bringing value to NFTs is definitely attaching the physical element to some of this and allowing the different kind of access to it. We did the Floyd Mayweather drop, where we also were combining it together with tickets to the fight. If you got this NFTs, you could participate in actually winning his real shoes and stuff like that. And just yesterday, actually, we launched a partnership with Toykido, where we will have one of our other projects called Smities Universe. We will have the Smities as a real toy, and then you can actually unlock the digital version of it. So I think this is just proving Hrish's point that we need to still find a way how to bridge and bring physical element into people's life in order to really see the potential of these NFTs and giving them unique access to things. So yeah.
Great. Well, let's talk about another buzzworthy phrase in the NFT marketplace today. It's play to earn. I think it has a few different connotations. So I'd like to hear from each of you what does play to earn really mean to you, and how is your company planning to capitalize on this trend, if at all? So can we start with Anita?
I'm sorry, I have a little bit disconnection. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Yes. Oh, I just want to know, so what does play to earn mean to you and your company, and how are you capitalizing on that?
Okay, so for the earning, right?
Yes.
Okay, so our game is like aimed to the sustainability in the NFT game. So apart from the other games, we are aiming to focusing on the how to have the sustainable mechanism inside the game so that we can attract the investor, not only the investor, but also the players. So our mechanism is that we create the mechanism inside like our heroes, because this game is about heroes. So our hero can pair together and create a new hero. And if you are an investor and you have the Genesis hero, which means the beginning hero, you can couple it together and then you will have the new hero. So that will create, that way will create the hero, and then you can sell it on the NFT marketplace. So that it means that you will have the income as well. Not only that you play the game, but you also have the income from selling the hero, the newborn heroes to this marketplace. So and from that, the players can also access to this game very easy because it is free to play. When they come to the game, they can play it freely and they can have the hero to play, and they can earn it. Depends on the blocks that will give them the reward. And that can access to people. So you will have two roles to access to this game. Firstly, you can be a game player, and secondly, you can be an investor. So that is about like the our game and the way that we can earn from that, and we create the an income, the mechanism for the player as well.
Great. Hrish, how about you?
Yeah, you know, I think that, yeah, play to earn, I think for me, enables users to really, you know, contribute and gain from their time spent and investment into a game. And I think that is a very important component of making these platforms utilizing blockchain provide, you know, long-term value to users. No longer are we spending a lot of time in games and platforms and losing value or not having anything to show for it after a period of time. You're able to earn, you're able to utilize your you know, efforts towards being able to potentially even sustain your life in the real world. And, you know, at SuperWorld, we think of, you know, live to earn. We're kind of, you know, based on reality and trying to, you know, bring these same mechanisms to the real world and real life. And, you know, I think that it's really important as we kind of move into a different age here of AI and being able to live and work more virtually, to have ways to play a game and to earn a living. So it's very exciting for us and this industry that these DeFi mechanisms and you know, the blockchain is really bringing all this to life. So I'm super psyched about play to earn.
Great. Morten, how about you?
Yeah, I think, you know, everybody has seen what's going on right now, and I think the whole play to earn is also something we are definitely looking into, and we are doing a little bit with it with the Doctor Who. Sometimes you have to be careful about the IP also, if you're working with an IP, how you treat it. And in this case, we approached the BBC saying that we wanted to create a play to earn model, but don't have the entry level for new users coming in as too high as we've seen in some of these play to earn games. I think if you really would like to earn some money, you need to also like buy in at a very high price. And that is my biggest worry. And I'm trying to build a game where 5 years down the line, if a new player comes along and discovers our game, they can still enter in at a very, very low price. And in this case, what we're doing with the trading cards is that you will always have access to the core packs of it, the core cards. And then it's just the cosmetics, which are the limited edition around it. So that's the limited or scarcity about these kind of things. So, you know, it doesn't matter because most gamers, they really don't, they just want to play games. But they still like, we need to drag them into this whole blockchain space. So for me, it was very important to try and make a model where we could still allow people to earn money, even though if they come into the Soul Space 5 years down the line, right? Even on the Genesis packs, basically. So yeah, that's how I see it. But I think it's so interesting to see what's going on, and I agree with Anita. It's like finding the best partnership between investors, which we know are out there, and then of course the players, which everybody, because you need the users actually in order to really kick this forward. So I agree with Anita. It's very important to try and find a partnership between investor, or a model between an investor and a gamer. So
yeah, just thinking play to earn is not really the right thing to say, because I think for games you really want to make sure game players are playing the game to play the game, not necessarily to earn.
No. Yeah,
it's sort of
absolutely.
like you're rewarded for putting the time in.
No, but I think
the enjoyment's still from playing the game.
Yeah, but it all comes down to what we essentially want to use the blockchain for. We want to secure the ownership of the asset. This is it's your property, right? Because you've spent money on it. You are now spending also the time actually adding, history, metadata to this NFT, and of course it's your property. So again, this is, I think, one of the best things that has happened in the whole gaming is definitely the blockchain, because this again is just like secure trading with smart contracts. Nobody's getting cheated by, send me $200 on some kind of like transfer service, and then you never get the asset, right? This is what we can do with blockchain, I think so. So it's just amazing for me.
Yeah, at Epik, we're bringing this play to earn opportunities to mainstream games. Like, we provide not only the technology to enable this, but also the content that has this mass market appeal. So just as an example, Gameloft's Asphalt 9 Legends, a game that's had over 1 billion downloads. Players participated in a tournament in the game, and they were rewarded with NFTs for playing. And 4 winners of the tournament were also given these super exclusive trophies as NFTs. NFTs that obviously have value, and they can sell them on marketplaces. So we empowered Gameloft to do this with our technology, and we're helping other mass market games to do this too. Some with millions of daily active users. So as we can all see, like, publishers win by just getting more engagement. The players see something, I can get rewarded. But the players also win, something that they earn something that has value that they can take outside of the game, which I think is something very new and unique.
Absolutely, but it's a balance, right? It's really a balance, because you need to be careful that your users is not there only for the play to earn, so that can actually ruin the whole game, if you ask me. So it's really a balance you need to be aware of.
All right. Let's move on. We've seen the emergence and growth of lots of online products that are dubbed metaverses. And so I'd love to hear everyone's perspective on what a metaverse is, and maybe how you see it evolving over time, and how NFTs can play a role in their success. Morten, why don't you go ahead?
No, I'm actually, we are just looking into the whole metaverse. We're creating it again based on Doctor Who, because it has like the backstory, which we think is very important, especially for us as a game studio, combined also with the blockchain services. But for us, we are now building based on the Doctor Who. How can we build this whole universe, which already has a story to it, and how can we create the metaverse? How can we allow our users into it? How can we make them explore, participate in it, and also unlock and link to the real world physics and what we're doing? So I'm basically just a novice here, I would say. So definitely Hrish, I think so, is one of the experts in this whole metaverse kind of thing. So for me right now, it's just a very interesting, because I can see everybody's looking into metaverses, and I really like the brands who are also looking into it, and I think we will definitely see a change at some point. For me, it's still very important. There needs to be a utility to it, and I think the metaverses is some of this, where you can escape reality and go into these metaverses and create your own kind of like either kingdom or your own kind of journey through this whole space. So yeah, that's my take on it. I'm really just here to suck it all in and just learn from everybody, all the experts, because we're building it right now. We haven't done anything yet in it, but research.
Raj, what's your perspective on the metaverse?
Oh, we all live parallel in different lives, so it's just an extension of that, in my opinion. So
Good one.
that's my take. I mean, I'm from an industry body, so when I talk about that, I mean, people love virtual lives. That's the reason why gaming, and that's the reason why we've got all these lovely, backgrounds behind us. That's the world we want to live in, actually. And getting a chance to do that, and Visa has just entered the metaverse space. They bought over CryptoPunks. That's a good sign that things are moving in that direction. From an industry, I'll speak from industry perspective, not from a product perspective. I am not a product guy. But I'll tell you one thing, it is the need. We need to be in that space, that's for sure. I believe that over the next, at least I again speak from India perspective, I see youngsters, I actually teach 12-year-old kids on crypto. Why? They want to know about it. Then they want to buy things from it. They also want to travel to Mars with it. So when we create a metaverse, actually we're giving them an outlet, we're giving them an opportunity. And I think we should be working, there's a lot more to be done. India hasn't woken up to metaverse so much as yet. It's just at, let's say, not even at the nascent stage. People just talk about it and say, what is this metaverse? Well, what is it? Where are we? How is it connected with blockchain? How is it with NFT? So it boils down to the same thing. We need that, but we first need people to be educated on that, and then we can take it up from there. That was my thought. I think the product companies, all of you on the product side, will have a better take on this anyways, because that's the world you're building. So I think Anita, Morten, and Hrish would be the right guys to actually talk about this universe. For us, we already live in a metaverse anyway. That's my take. We always do, but we don't acknowledge it. Now, this is a tangible way of acknowledging it, I guess.
All right. Hrish, what's your perspective on this?
Yeah, so our vision at SuperWorld, in the fact that we've built a virtual world on top of the real world, is how can we provide a way for anyone to get a gateway to the metaverse. So SuperWorld's kind of view on this is we're focused on people's reality, on their real world. And how can we leverage these technologies, AR, VR, blockchain, AI, to enhance people's real lives? And that goes back to the play to earn, live to earn concept. This goes back to, how can we bring people into virtuality, but also bring that virtuality to the physical world that's around them. And so I think the metaverse is a combination of that physical and virtual, that O to O, online to offline, offline to online, connection there, that, you can go from one to the other seamlessly, and both can exist at the same time in the same place, all around you in your real world setting. So I think that's kind of how we see it. It's the combination of these technologies, your real life and your virtual life.
Excellent. Yeah, for Epik, we really believe that metaverses are the future of digital entertainment. I mean, look, Facebook even is repositioning itself as a metaverse company. It's kind of shocking, but they see the future. Yeah. So we're going to soon reveal our Epikverse, which actually connects these metaverses together, allowing users to really move between platforms and virtual worlds and take their NFTs with them throughout that. Really, it's like a universal a virtual universe that has all the features of the real world and even more. Like, imagine Travis Scott does a concert in Fortnite, but he also appears in Roblox and Minecraft and Facebook and Animal Crossing and every other metaverse out there at the same time. And that's the future we're envisioning and going to be delivering with our Epikverse.
Yeah, but Darren, you're actually touching on a very interesting subject based on that, because interoperability, right? How can we create all these different kind of metaverses, all these different kind of projects we all are working on? How can we make sure that the user benefits from this by taking the possibility for him to taking or her to taking the asset between and interoperable between the different kind of metaverses and bring it into it, right? Because everybody's doing their own kind of a little bit of like decentralized, or a little bit of centralized kind of like metaverses, but how do we open up so we can make sure that actually the interoperability of an asset is the way to go? I think so. We need to make sure that the users can bring their assets no matter where they are, what kind of metaverse they are entering, and that will unlock could unlock different kind of option and features and stuff like that. I think that is, for me, interoperability is is also a very key thing to discuss in this whole thing.
Agreed. Well, can we move on to the next topic? Because let's talk about the global opportunities of NFTs. So just globally over the last 9 months, we've really seen obviously the conversation around NFTs increase. And I think it's definitely not a bubble at this point. It's sustained. So which global regions do you see there being the greatest opportunities for NFTs, and sort of in general and just for your own company? Can we start with Hrish?
Yeah, I think the opportunities as we think of NFTs on a global scale, again, comprise a variety of niches, from gaming to entertainment to education to science, you name it, and I think that the fact that there are a wide range of applications, the fact that as crypto can flow pretty easily across borders, NFTs make them an ideal kind of method of transmission. There's the transparency aspect of that. There's the authenticity aspect of that, which is also very important as we think of cross-border trade. NFTs, I think, will kind of penetrate other areas besides just art or gaming that we've kind of seen in the current applications for the majority, and kind of go into, I would say, potential other areas of global commerce. So yeah, I'm very excited about that, and we're working on a variety of things at SuperWorld with corporations to work on other potential enterprise / social impact ways that NFTs can be beneficial to people that want to make global impact.
Great. Anita, where do you see the greatest opportunities right now?
Yes, for me, I think that this is very huge opportunities for NFT now, because as I have mentioned before, that nowadays we can access with the NFT trend by through the digital access, pictures, videos, or gaming and anything, something like that. But actually, in the near future, I think that it will have more the use cases for the NFT. For example, it will not only focuses on the entertainment only, but it will also focus on it can be used in the tourism. Maybe it can create for tourism industry, it can use for the resorts or hotels to create the NFT tickets, so people can use it for special priorities or something like that. I think that the use cases of the NFT will be much bigger in the future, and as well as the solutions here, what we have to see and what we have to admit that the NFT must have to create the real use cases and the real real demand from, as we can see, from the real demand from the investor and the users.
Very good. Raj, where do you see the big opportunities for NFTs around the world?
I'll tell you what I think is my perspective. In India, for example, there's a lot of traction in, of course, digital art is obviously the first lowest hanging fruit, so to speak. I've seen a lot of traction in the fashion industry. I've seen the licenses and certifications. I'm doing a little project with a couple of the education institutions in that space. Of course, collectibles is big. Sports is getting very big. One very large organization in India, for example, is setting up India's largest sporting NFT. India is a cricket crazy nation, and they're putting it around the cricket, the IPL, what they have, the Indian Premier League, and then the different premier cricket leagues from all across the world, and putting an NFT around that. We can have again names, domain names, copyrights, of course, the gaming space, of course, by default. CryptoPunk started it all, the virtual worlds. All these are fantastic use cases and are actually happening. Of course, a lot of enablers need to be put in place, but in short, these are getting a lot of traction. from a global perspective because I work with a lot of people across, and I see a lot of movement in this space. Of course, the largest art and the gaming space, but even copyrights, a lot of other things. I've got a whole bunch of parents who are telling me, let's make an NFT of our kids. We'll never have those same moments again. So that's something different, yeah. But at the same time, everything can be on the NFT, but the domains which are popular is the ones which I've named right now. Of course, there will be more in the future, but I think right now we got pretty much covered with these as of right now. That's what my opinion is on this.
NFT of your kids, that's a unique one. I guess it's those are all one of one, hopefully.
Yes, because they say I got my kids painting, and all of them going to put it together and make a community, and the families, all sorts of things, a lot of ideas bouncing by us. Nothing concrete as yet. We are trying to see how we can figure that out, and maybe gaming would be a great opportunity to get that. Who in the family gets that?
Yeah. Well, for Epik, we're seeing global opportunities for all of us here. So just yes. from our perspective, it's a global opportunity.
The biggest,
and we're so
sorry, just adding one line. We had this word called play to earn. I think in India it's the other way around. Is going people are earning to play, and that's exactly what they really want to do. We're going to just flip that around. That's the real thing they want to do. And everything what we are planning is going to be again game based. So everybody says we need to play these games, we need to earn a little more. So in India, it's a little bit of a different thing. It's earn to play rather than play to earn. Then they can always earn later on.
That's great. Yeah, for us on the global side, I mean, we're bringing in these NFTs to just our entire global network of partners, right. Just about in every market in the world. So just as an example, one of our latest partners has a huge global player base. We're working with Garena's Free Fire on in-game drops. So that's going to be big for us and big for everyone in the entire community.
It's going to be massive, definitely. I think one of the places where you can use it in daily, I would, just like tickets, just a simple ticket as an NFT where you can reuse it again. You can attach moments. It could give you access to different kind of things. If you've already been to a concert, it can unlock different kind of, that's a use case that every normal user could relate to. I think so. Everybody could relate to, I'm having this on my phone because it's part of maybe my credit card, the NFT, and then it's unlocking different kind of, you can attach, just like moments to it. Like if you are at a concert, maybe the organizer or the band just before they enter the stage, they do like a 2-second video moment, just like giving a thumbs up behind the stage, which you will never actually see. That's an exclusive moment that suddenly you can attach to this concert and do like a drop to everybody who's been at that concert. And also I think the organizers could use NFTs in this way to also fund the next concert or whatever it is. If it's been really good, then people are just like willing actually to maybe say, I want to buy my ticket now to the next one because maybe I get a discount. All this could happen via the NFTs, I think so. So it's just like not only gaming, not only artwork, digital, that whole thing, because that's basically just like where we need to see where we're spending our money could actually be attached to NFTs in some way. So yeah. It's so interesting.
Well, that might lead into the next question I have for maybe this might be the last question we have given the amount of time we have. But just the vision for the future. So just looking into the future, once we all achieve mass market success with our products, what do you think the world's going to look like for consumers and for your company? Why don't you go ahead, Morten?
Oh, that's a big one. How it will look like. I think what we will see in the world is that suddenly we are giving people the chance of actually improving their life, their lifestyle. If they, even though you are rich or poor, whatever it is, I think this will change people's life in a way that right now we're just in the start of it. So I really don't think we can say, where's this going? But we can see that. I still think that via gaming, via some of these, bridging to the physical world, we will onboard them into basically what Hrish, I think so, is doing, a virtual world actually on top of the real world. I think this is really how I see the whole thing. And I think it's so mind-blowing. So I don't think you can think about how this will look like. You can just, yeah, for me, it's just like too mind-blowing, basically, just to give I think, any kind of idea on this, because right now we're just doing all our own stuff, and I think eventually the technology will improve, a lot of other things will improve, but I think one of the key things in order really we need to think about is the sustainability of all this, because I know there is a big resistance against this whole thing, and I don't want to have, I want to build bridges. I want to make sure that, people who are really, everybody cares about Mother Earth and the resources we're spending, and I think we need to look at how we can make this a whole sustainable world, and even in the digital world, right? Because we took a decision back in 2017 to do our sidechain and move everything into carbon neutral servers, and now we're actually working on a much bigger green aspect of it. So it's not only carbon neutral, but it's actually restoration. So I think that whole sustainable aspect is something also big companies like, brands and who wants to enter the space is really careful about how is this actually impacting the whole sustainable aspect of it. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, great. Hrish, how about you? The future.
Yeah, I think that I agree with Morten and what I've heard from the other panelists as well about how this is kind of taking shape and how it'll continue to take shape around the world. In the future, I think that reality and virtuality will be one. I don't think that there will be any distinction between the conversation that we're having now and what we think of as just daily life. It's going to be how many people live, work, play, do anything that they want to do, that they do normally in their lives. It's going to be imperceptible. It's going to be life enhancing. It's going to be how you are able to travel, experience the world, communicate with each other. So I don't know if a lot of the concepts that we're talking about will be called out in the future. They'll just be part of your reality. And the NFT as a component of that, I think will be a core component of kind of an atom or a molecule of this broader, interconnected, as Morten stated as well, interoperable metaverse, where you're able to have that ownership, you're able to transact, and you're able to do all those things very seamlessly with anyone across platforms, across continents. So I'm very excited about that. I mean, I think for what we're doing is it's all about, enhancing the world, enhancing reality, improving humanity. And I think these technologies are going to enable us to do that and do that in a way that I think we're all going to really embrace. The thing that I want to make sure that we're really focused on at SuperWorld is how can we focus on people's real life human connection and make sure people aren't sucked in to virtuality. I want to make sure that we're utilizing these technologies to benefit the physical connection, the physical interaction, because I think the danger is that people just, prefer kind of this other totally virtual life. And I for one like the real world, even though I'm building SuperWorld with my team. I want to focus on real life. Yeah, exactly. So that's what we want to do is improve the real world.
Great. Anita, how about you? What's the vision in the future when we achieve mass market adoption?
So I think that there's a lot of the visions from other people about this, and we have the same opinions with others that like to measure how big it is, how big our company will be in the future. It's very hard to describe how is it in the future. But to move to the future, we need to spend a special care for the present. So that's why we want to set up the base We want to set up the base that very concrete at the beginning, at the first time. Like, so how we can do that? We want to create the close relationship between the players, the investor, and the game and the project. So that if we have the close relationship between between the games and the players, between the project and the investor, so that we can communicate, we can like have the relationship with the communities. And when we have a lot of the communities around, I mean, like the development way in the future will be very much bigger, because like we are going together. And as I have heard about this before, if you want to go fast, you can go alone, but if you want to go far, you have to go together.
Wow, well said. I think from Epik's standpoint, for our consumers, I think everybody's going to expect to have NFTs for everything they buy, and that has value. I think everybody here has alluded to different, things in the physical world, and then that they're then being mirrored in the digital world. And I think we agree with that perspective on the future. And the content that people are getting with NFTs is going to have high quality IP. So basically everything you buy, not just digitally, but even for physical goods too, there's going to be some NFT associated with it. On the topic of sustainability that Morten brought up, Epik is a kind of blockchain neutral company or agnostic company. But that being said, some of our first NFTs we minted were on Huobi's Hiko network, which it was founded with regard to lessening the environmental impact, and we found that it's an excellent chain to work with, low block times, and just it has the volume to support the number of transactions that mass market games are going to expect. As a B2B company, kind of in the future, we're going to be there connecting providers, the content providers like brands and celebrities to games, and then being the infrastructure that connects them all together cross-chain and cross-platforms. So I think that's all the time we have. So why don't we wrap it up here? And this is really a great discussion, everybody. And I want to thank you all for joining us today, Anita, Hrish, Morten, and Raj. Thank you so much for the discussion and in your insights. I really enjoyed chatting with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Pleasure.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, nice meeting you all.
Bye-bye.